Hello, 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 and welcome to the 12th episode, I think, of Mixed Media Views Season 2. My name is Kelsey, and today I'll be talking about a movie. This week's movie is Do Revenge on Netflix. I had seen Maya Hawke and Camila Mendes were in this, so it certainly piqued my interest. It also seemed like another quinoa, another bowl of quinoa. It seemed like another teen drama, comedy, dramedy type of thing, which I love to watch, like most girls. And so I felt it was probably my cup of tea and decided to turn it on, and that was pretty much all I knew beforehand. The trailer may have started playing like on Netflix's home screen, or I might have just saw an image. I honestly don't even remember because everything before my trip is basically out of my brain, including where my stylus is to my tablet. I cannot for the life of me find it. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I knew about it. Rotten Tomatoes has this as the summary for Do Revenge. Drea, played by Camila Mendes, is at the peak of her high school powers as the alpha it girl on campus when her entire life goes up in flames after her sex tape gets leaked to the whole school, seemingly by her boyfriend and king of the school, Max, played by Austin Abrams. Eleanor, Maya Hawke, is an awkward new transfer student who is angered to find out that she now has to go to school with her old bully, Carissa, played by Ava Capri? I don't know, who started a nasty rumor about her in summer camp when they were 13. After a clandestine run-in at tennis camp, my cat started clawing at the door. After a clandestine run-in at tennis camp, Drea and Eleanor form an unlikely and secret friendship to get revenge on each other's tormentors. Today we'll have some spoilers. I won't outright say anything specific, but I'll allude to certain things that may ruin it if you haven't seen the movie, because that's how things work. If you know a thing, then it can ruin the movie, even though it's a specific thing, which might have already done it, but who knows. So what did I like about this movie? Well, honestly, at first I thought that this was just going to be, again, like a kind of typical teen drama thing. Your typical dumb teen movie. And that was fairly true for the beginning. But then there's this part where you're kind of like, oh dang, I see what's going on here. And it really completely changed my view. From mostly paying attention to very much on board with what was happening and very much paying attention to the screen. And it was, I was enjoying it, but when that point hit, I was just like, this movie went from, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to people outside of that genre to people, recommending it to people outside of the genre, it wasn't the best thing I've ever watched still, but I mean, it was much better than I expected, and I really like Maya Hawke. I genuinely enjoyed this movie. There were a few very real, very deep moments throughout that made this movie even better. And I think it had a good balance to be still kind of in that teen comedy, teen drama genre, while also taking it just a bit of a step further from that. Like a heightened version of maybe your basic one. When you read a really good YA novel and you're like, this is a really, it's still YA, but it's a really good YA, like the Firekeeper's Daughter book or Lore. Well, Lore was maybe a little more typical YA, but I really liked it. Sarah Michelle Gellar was also in this, and I absolutely freaking loved it because I love Buffy, and of course she's Buffy, and she will always be Buffy, and I just adore her. I really wish that she was in it just a bit more, and by that I mean a lot more, but it's nice to see her in something since I feel like she doesn't act as much anymore. I know she's going to be in the not Teen Wolf show, so I'm excited to see her again. The bearded dragon was also super adorable, and I loved it when Drea dressed him up or her up in different little outfits. Yeah, I love the bearded dragon. It was so freaking cute. The overall story was also quite good. The revenge plots were intense, and it bothered me a bit that, and okay, this will be a little bit more spoiler and specific, but it bothered me a bit when the purposely vague she poisoned people with drugs without their consent. But I did appreciate, and I'll talk about this more, but I did appreciate, and that's why I'm putting it in this, and I will stop interrupting myself, because I did appreciate that she was kind of called out on it, and that she did eventually come forward and tell the truth. So that was very nice that they did kind of go, okay, well, here's the thing. That wasn't great, and we will kind of call them out on it. The ending was also, I thought, really great. I thought it was like the perfect ending. It was just a fun movie and perfect for a casual watch, but also something that is maybe just a little bit of a step above a truly casual watch. I'd definitely be down for a rewatch, especially knowing the things I know now. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more specific as well, but my biggest critique with this film is that in order for, maybe I'll just say her, in order for one of them to get their revenge, she ends up exposing a bunch of people's private images that they had sent to another character to like the entire school. She violated them and their privacy, which was exactly what was done to her. And yet only one person ever actually calls her out on it, and then it was just kind of like swept under the rug and whatever, like, okay, and they moved forward. And that was really annoying, because she was upset that her stuff had been leaked. Now I'm just giving it away. So yeah, I was upset that Drea was upset that her stuff got leaked, and then she turned around and did it to many other women or girls in her school, and didn't even once think maybe this is something that is taking it too far. Like, yes, expose the dude for being a dirtbag, but maybe don't also do the same thing to a bunch of women that was done to you, and that's why you're seeking the revenge to begin with. Like, not cool. You're ruining a bunch of women's lives as well, and, completely violating them and their privacy. And again, like, she wasn't really called out on it. I wish it was a much bigger point. I get her doing it. She got wrapped up in the moment, in the revenge, but I really wish that there was a bigger point where she really gets called out on it, and it becomes a bigger ordeal than it actually was in the movie, or that she stops beforehand because she really starts thinking about, what am I actually doing? But I don't know. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. My other thing was that, again, she drugged a bunch of people without their consent, which isn't cool. I, again, appreciated that she came clean about it later, but it still was just, like, not cool. You don't drug people without their consent or sneakily get them to ingest anything, Like, you have no idea the, like, feelings or thoughts. I don't know. Like, I don't do drugs, and I would be really mad if somebody dosed me with something, Like, that's really messed up. And I would also be really mad if I was a vegetarian and someone tried to sneakily get me to eat eat meat. Like, those are things that you should not do. And again, I get that she finally did come clean, but it was still like both of the women had points when they could have realized that the revenge was going further than it should have been, and it was no longer just affecting the ones they wanted to get revenge against, but it was going and affecting a bunch of other innocent people. And I don't feel like they really made that connection ever, or really ever got really called out on those types of things. And I feel like that could have been a good, teaching moment, or a good kind of way to wrap up some of those storylines. I don't know. Just bothered me a bit, but really those are the only things that I have to critique about this movie, so you're welcome. I definitely recommend this movie, especially if this is the type of movie that is already your kind of thing. Definitely became a little bit more thriller, maybe halfway through the movie, and it was just really enjoyable all around. I think there's some music. Papa Roach Scars is playing somewhere. Is it outside? I don't know. Maybe you'll hear it, maybe not. But I'll just keep talking, and maybe there's just some music in the background. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Again, I'm excited to see Maya Hawke in something that's more than just, Stranger Things. And I can't wait to see what else she'll be in. What else she'll be in. I can words. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Part of me also wants to kind of catch back up with Riverdale after seeing Camila Mendes, but I think even the actors are over it at this point, so I don't know if it's worth it. Camila Mendes was also in Palm Springs, where she was marrying Derek Hale, also known as Tyler Hoechlin, so I'm excited to see what she does next as well, because I've been enjoying her and seeing her in other things. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Do Revenge. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Mixed Media Reviews Podcast. Please leave me a comment to let me know if you agreed, disagreed, or if you have any suggestions. You can also find me anywhere you find your podcasts, probably. Please join me in, probably this will be tomorrow when this gets posted, on Saturday, for the last episode of Season 2 before I go on break. It's going to be a little bit different because since this was like the episode with a movie and therefore the last in the rotation, I'm going to be doing an episode with a book, TV show, and a movie just to kind of make me feel better about wrapping it up on what will feel like a whole number, if that makes any sense. I don't think it does, but that's okay. I may do a couple of each as well, just kind of see what time permits, but I know I watched a couple movies on the plane that I wanted to talk about, and I've read a couple books since then, and I've seen TV. So we'll see how that goes, but you can look forward to that probably tomorrow, because this will probably not post until my tomorrow, which will be your today. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye!